There are new national standards to prevent rape in prison, and 7 Republican governors have refused or ignored these new laws. In fact, they haven't complied with them at all. These are Republicans in Arizona, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Nebraska, Texas, and Utah. Now, basically, what this would do is it would create a panel to deal with the issue of rape in prisons, which of course is a really big problem. This was a law that was passed by both Congress and the Senate back in 2003, and George Bush signed the law, but unfortunately it wasn't finalized until 2012. It took quite a bit of time, and now in May of this year it was supposed to be put into effect. However, the 7 governors from these states refused to comply with these laws, and as a result they will lose 5% of their federal funding. Now, I don't really understand what the issue is here. You should want to prevent rape in prison. It's not something that we should be in favor of, but they have not responded to any type of notice.
Well, of course you don't understand, Anna. You're a soft-hearted, bleeding heart liberal who cares about people and doesn't see them as animals who should needlessly sexually assault each other in prison. I'm joking there, but I'm getting to the very real difference between how liberals view the purpose and philosophy of our criminal justice system, and especially locking people up. What the purpose of that is, we don't see them as animals. We see them as potentially able to be rehabilitated, and I think that we rightly think that if we do that, we produce better results for the society. Like we lower recidivism rates and things like that. I don't think that trying to make prison sort of a living hell, I don't think that's the way that you stop people from committing crimes. I think that you educate them and you provide an economy that provides opportunities for them. I don't think that the Republican governors agree with that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting situation, because when you look at rape statistics in the United States, men actually get raped at a higher rate than women because of prison rape, right? So it's a widespread issue. And believe it or not, it's actually it's not studied enough. It's not something that we've looked into enough. So part of this new law and part of the new standards would basically have each separate state look into it, basically provide services for inmates if they have been sexually assaulted or raped. And again, yeah, I think that this does point to a difference in our philosophy, because I actually want prison to be a way of rehabilitating people and having them come back into society as productive human beings. But no, we do the exact opposite. I mean, we have juveniles who go into prison and they get sexually assaulted and raped too. They get tried as adults, they get sent to prison, they get sexually assaulted or raped, and then they come out, and then you expect them they're hardened, absolutely. That's why we have such a high recidivism rate. So it's frustrating to know that this is happening. And by the way, if you live in one of these states, all of a sudden you're losing 5% of your federal grants. You should be livid about this.
Yeah, and at the very least, like, one of the reasons we don't simply put people in jail and treat them absolutely horribly is because we know that there is an error rate in convictions. We know that some people in prison right now, some percent, are innocent, and so they don't deserve to be completely degraded and abused while they're in there. And more importantly, the solution, I think, seems to be pretty clear. If 5% is likely to cause some of them to actually get right with the law, then up it to 10, and then 15, and then 20 year by year, until finally they do what they're supposed to do, what Democrats and Republicans nationwide in the federal government agreed that they have to do.